I'm Pamm Ferrand.
I'm Leonard Ferrand.
We've been members here 27 years or so. We moved here in '96, and we had two little ones, a 3-year-old and a newborn. And the 3-year-old desperately wanted to come to church at 7:45 because that's where Grammy and Papa were. So we came to church with my parents, and then my dad used that as a little excuse to get out of church early and take the kids to go to breakfast every Sunday.
Yeah, of course. And it's also where our youngest got baptized.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I'll clearly kick off. It really just being involved, anything from volunteering at the nursery, doing back then was the 8 o'clock service, to youth group activity, adult leadership in the youth group, joining a breakfast team, just doing things, physically doing things, became more and more involved. Certainly as you became more involved, you became more ingrained into the church, and then ultimately saw the spiritual growth. It was also really interesting to see the kids continue to grow too. They physically grew up in the church, but spiritually seeing them growing up. And as Pam mentioned about being the catalyst, really they're the ones who brought us to St. David. It was really cool to see that catalyst be the introduction to what was a long-term 28-year relationship now.
Our oldest was a little bit shy in 5th grade, and it was time to go to middle school, and he'd been in Cub Scouts, and he said he wasn't going to be a Boy Scout. And I said, well, you have to do something. You have to do Boy Scouts or youth group. And so he ended up choosing both in the end. But I gave a lot of credit to the youth director, Katie, for just hooking him in to the point where it became his summers were planned around what outings Katie was doing. And then we started going on mission trips to Honduras, and just the growth for all of us, not just the children, but for all of us. Both of our children ended up living in Honduras on a short-term 2-month period to expand their time there. And just as a family, we've gone multiple times, 10 times or so. And yeah, 10, 15 times. And it has just really deepened our faith, because it's more connections with people at the church, connections outside of the church, but common experiences. So that whole spark seed being planted of coming to church to see my mom and dad grew into this. Here we are, getting into the retirement age of sooner than later, and just feeling like this is home, and I can't imagine another church home. I don't know why I would ever want to leave. I really hope that St. David's continues to be a place of acceptance for people. One thing I tell people is that we're not, everyone's not the same. It's great to have a variety of people with a variety of experiences and open conversation, knowing that I can have an open conversation with you about things I disagree with, or other people I'm friends with, and it's just not good to be in a vacuum of all the same and only hearing and seeing what you agree with. Not that I'm saying I disagree with things, but I just hope St. David's continues to be the welcoming and open place that it has been for so long.
I agree. It's a very welcoming, and ultimately, and I was sitting here listening to you describe all the things, it really comes down to relationships, right? A loving environment, a relationship-based foundation. And like you said, we built relationships in Honduras with the children in the children's home, built relationship with other couples, other children, other families, literally growing up together. It's such a wonderful environment. I hope more and more people discover St. David's, because it's so inviting. One thing I first noticed, it wasn't cliquish. It wasn't like you never felt like you were the in group or the out group or whatever. It just felt very welcoming and warm and inviting, and a very loving environment. And everyone is welcome. Truly, everyone is welcome. But I really hope and pray that people continue to discover St. David's and continue to grow. We've been here going on 30 years, and literally seeing our faith change over the time. I don't know what it would be like, our lives would be without St. David's. I really say that honestly.